What's up, GS350JP at our house. Okay, I'm going to give you a lesson on the verb be. Okay, and it's a real quick lesson. I teach these to my students, and they are all in elementary school, so if they can understand it, you can comprehend it also. Be is an auxiliary word, and it's used to describe a continuous motion or a motion that is done. In other words, it's something that has been completed, completed. That hasn't been started, but something that has already started and continue all the way to the point where it stops. Action verbs are action verbs, what they are, and basically they just I'm thinking they're just words that an action verb basically is just a start, and that's it. It's only one step. There's only one start, so it's like one step, and that's it, and that's an action. You know, that's all, just one cycle, and that's it. But when that cycle repeats and repeats and repeats, it's no longer an action verb. Okay, so basically what it is be. In the past tense, it changes from was, it changes to was and were. Was is used for objects, and one object or one person or singular or just one, whatever you want to use. And I, in the past tense, I becomes a singular or one person because it was just one thing that happened. Okay, and so in the past tense you use I was or any other noun that you use, that's singular, then you use was. Everything, all the plural, use were. Okay, so I was, the dog is, the cat is, we were, you were, and blah blah blah. And remember, you is not singular, it is really only plural. And even though they say it's a singular you, but it's never ever used as a singular you, it's always used as a plural you. So in other words, you can't say you is when you talk about one person, and when you talk about many people saying you are. It doesn't work like that. You is only plural. It's a special verb. It is special noun, and it's a plural noun, and it's only going to be used with plural verbs. Okay, and plural just means verbs that are in the 2, 3, 4 to infinity type form, or whatever you want to say. You know, just more than one form. Okay, so in the present tense, what it is when you instead of saying I be, you can't use be in the present tense. It be changes to either am or is or are. And so when you use I, you have to use the am. And again, I, like I said, I is a special noun. It's not singular, it's not plural. If it was singular, then you will use I is. Not I is for real, you know what I'm saying? It's not, and it's not plural, so you can't say I are. Okay, so it has its own special auxiliary be verb, and it's am. Okay, and then whenever you use an object, one object, talking about one object, one person, one whatever, you know, a singular mode, when singular just means one, then you can use the word is. And then anything greater than one, you use are. Okay, and it's really simple, really simple. And then in the future tense, you use the word be. Now, why do you use the word be? Is because will is actually the verb. Okay, now they got all these grammarians saying will is just blah, blah, blah. Well, will is the verb because will is the verb that agrees with the subject. Okay, and will is a singular and a plural auxiliary verb. So you can say he will, I will, you will, the 1,300 billion souls will, or the one soul will. Okay, and it's will. And then you use the word be. Now be, you use being because will is an auxiliary word and it's a verb. Okay, and many people want to say it's not the verb or whatever, I don't know, but I think it's verb. I want to talk about something else too, it's really interesting. And you guys correct me You know, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. But anyway, how can I say that? So will is the verb. Be is an infinitive. Infinitive, infinite, means that it is plural, and only the plural form can be used. Infinitive, infinity. Is a member of an infinity, or something like that. So, it builds. So it's like I must be, can be, should be, may be, will be, can be, should be, and shall be, and all this stuff, you know. And so, because those auxiliary verbs aren't action verbs, you don't need to use the to. So it'll be the be verb, and it'll be in a what is it called? A blah 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 infinitive form. And infinitive form is just a plural form of the verb, but it's not a verb because it cannot change to singular, past tense, or anything. It's in that form. So basically, I just say it's a noun. Infinitives are nouns, but you know, it's not a noun, it's a verb. But you can't put he, be, you know what I'm saying? So whatever, and that's it. Okay, so that's how you use it. Then you use been. If you use been, then it's with have or has, or yeah, you know, the been. It'll be the past or present, past, the perfect tense. And the being, of course, the continuous tense. But then that's another thing, too. I'm going to talk about the continuous tense because I had an argument with a few people who are very well educated in the English language. The 20% of the, I want to educated in English language, and they mean the 20% or the 80%. That's not English. Okay. Anyway, it's a joke. Anyway, so anyway, you have this thing called I am running. And they said that running is the main verb, and it's it's a linking verb, right? And it's really interesting because, okay, it could be true and all this stuff. That's not the point. But the whole thing is a verb. What is a verb? A verb is what? Has to agree with the subject. So, I'm thinking to myself, like I told these other people, I might be wrong, but you know, it's logical to me, right? That I is the subject, and am is, of course, the verb that agrees with I. Then you have this word called running. And what is running? Well, it according to grammatical rules, it depends on how you're using it. So if it follows an auxiliary verb, it's going to be a present participle. And so I'm thinking about this present participle thing. And you know, the present participle, to me, a present participle is really just the ing. Now that's what I'm thinking it is. Okay? And the present participle is just ing plus an infinitive, or the plural form of a verb, right? So you have running, sitting, and and so those are called present participles because of the present tense, the present suffix ing on there, which is a present participle. In other words, it's ing means present tense, and it's a continuous motion. Now, to me, a continuous motion, because verbs, you know, basically verbs are just one step. But I was thinking that it is, how can I say that? It's a present participle is a continuous of a whole bunch of cycles again and again and again, like a change. It's one link, all added together. And then when you get it together, to me, it's just then it becomes an object or some type of a matter or something like that, which again doesn't would make it a noun, you know. But I can understand they're saying it's a present participle because of the fact that I guess the ing actually takes over the function of the run from being a noun, and it changes it to a present participle because it follows the am and stuff like that. But it's just really interesting the way I think about stuff. I teach my students, and I just tell them, if it's it's after the am is and blah blah blah, then it's a present participle. But if it's the subjects, because subjects can only be nouns, then it'll be a gerund. And then I tell them about infinitives too, because infinitives are nouns and they can't be a verb, because you can't have two verbs in one sentence unless there's some type of a connection, linking, conjunction or something like that there. So, in other words, what I was telling them, so I was like, if you have I prepare, study, is that okay? And of course it's not okay, because prepare is a verb and study is a verb, as they are. And so you need to make I prepare is okay, so you need to change the study into a noun, or you want to call it compliment or whatever it is, but I'll just say it's a noun, because that's what I think was infinitives are, nouns. And to do that, you will add to, and it becomes a noun. And some people are like, no, it's not a noun, whatever, okay, fine, whatever. But when you look in a dictionary and you look up a word like run, the first thing it's going to, one of the definitions is definitely going to say to move. To move. Now, what does to move mean? You know what I'm saying? It's to move in a direction, da 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 da. So to me it would be a noun and stuff like that. But it's just interesting. I might be doing this all wrong or thinking about it all wrong, but it doesn't matter. Everybody believes in Santa Claus, right? An excuse for your parents to get in debt or buy you something, right? But anyway, I just use these and explain it to them, and just in a way so the kids can remember and stuff like that. But it's really interesting because the youngest kid that's in my grammar class was 3 years old, or just almost about to turn 4. It's a trap though. But anyway, please, brothers, sisters out there, correct your parents, correct your grandparents. If they get mad, then just say, hey, it's better to sound proper than to sound improper, because vocabulary is important, and it doesn't matter how old you are if you're speaking proper, if you're speaking grammatically, sleeping. If you're sleeping, I'm not sleeping. I'm sleeping. If you're sleeping, you're listening to this. No. Anyway, it's better to be able to speak a language properly. So please fix that. It's very important, because did you guys see that video about that one GOP? I forgot. I think West Virginia or something, where he sent the email about his dog, and basically it was like, my dog. It was cold. He said he took his dog down to the unemployment line to get welfare checks for his dog, but the lady said that his dog animals can't get welfare checks, and then he said no, his dog is black and dumb and illiterate and can't speak English and can't read and write, basically saying his dog is a black person. So a person looked it up, the rules about, and said, oh, okay, your dog is qualified to pick up checks, and then he said, oh, my dog could get his check at the first of the month, and he sent that to a friend. And it's cold, because he's a government official using, still he should have just sent it, through the mail or whatever. I don't know, probably been a federal offense, right? But these white people making all their white jokes and stuff, but actually, who are the most people on welfare? And welfare was not created for black people. People out there, if you don't want to know. I mean, if you do want to know, but it was interesting. But it's on my Facebook. If you guys want me to, I could put the link up on my